Today we're going to review solving percent equation formulas. You should know these from last year, but we're going to review. Terms to know, we have equation, percent, variable, and proportion. Equation is a math sentence that has an equal sign. Too easy. Percent, a number out of 100. Percent, a number out of 100. This is how percent is set up. Variable, a letter used to represent a missing number. And proportion, an equation stating that two ratios are equivalent. So we're going to work on setting up proportions from word problems today. Here's the percent equation formula you should remember using from last year. We have is over of, and percent over 100. Remember, percent is always a number out of 100, so percent should always go here, right over the 100. Then we have the part over the whole. So let's review finding each of these in a word problem. Here's my example. What is 10% of 60? Who thinks they can set this up right? Okay, so what you should have gotten, you should have seen the keyword is. And we're looking for the is because we're saying what is. So my variable is. Then we have 10%. Well, percent is always a number out of 100. So percent goes on this side over 100. And then we have of 60. So my 60 goes on the bottom. So now I've set it up right. Let's try another one. Okay, let's give this one a go. Okay, let's look for our keywords again. We have is, of, and a percent. So 10 is goes on top. What percent? I don't know my percent. I'm looking for it. Of 80. And percent is always a number out of 100. Good work. Okay, so the next step after we set up our problem is cross multiplication. So if you take a look at this problem, we have what is 24% of 120. So I've set up my problem, I've got my percent over 100, and I've got my of on the bottom. So my next step is cross multiplication. So I draw my arrows. The arrows are always pointing down. And you want to follow those arrows. So the 24 and the 120 are going to go together. And the x and the 100 are going to go together over here. After you've set up your problem with your cross multiplication, you are going to then multiply. And you're going to end up with these numbers here. Who can tell me what the next step is going to be? Good. The next step is isolating the variable. To isolate the variable, you can use the seesaw method. Who thinks they know how to do the seesaw method? I'm going to have you come up here and demonstrate it on the next problem. We have 60 is 20% of what number? So your first step is to set it up. Second step, cross multiply. Third step, isolate the variable. So let's set this up. 60 is, so is goes on the top. 20%, I've got my percent is always out of 100. Of what number? So I'm looking for my of. So I've got it set up. So now I need to cross multiply. Draw my arrows going down. And I'm going to follow those arrows. So on this side, I've got x and 20. is equal to this side. Got 60 times 100. Excellent, which leaves me with 20x when I multiply is equal to 6,000. My last step, I need to isolate my variable. So I'm going to draw my seesaw. To get rid of the 20 with x, I need to divide by 20, so they cancel each other out. I do the same thing to the other side. So x equals 300. Okay, now you're ready to move on to the 8th grade proportion video. Get another piece of scrap paper and get ready to get going.
Made with Doodlecast Pro.